quick fire question to start it off. What is your favorite lens at the moment?
My favorite lens. Oh my God. Well, I'm playing with my Fuji a lot. I have a 35. My 35 one 2.0 Fuji lens.
Nice,
It's a
nice.
small lens. I got a new one. It's being shipped right now. The 1.4, which is supposed to be even better. But that lens, I love it. I've been playing with Fuji a lot lately, and so it's a crop sensor, but I don't know. It's just like I'm still trying to figure out if I can use it professionally always or not. So that's where I'm at right now.
If anyone can pull it off, it's you, mate.
Okay, thank you. I don't know how so. Um, I guess, yeah. I don't know. I'm shooting now. Now that I've decided to really be focused on real estate, I think the stakes are low enough that it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Mate, I've got an intro written down for you. Are you cool if I peel through that now?
Yeah.
All right. Wish me luck. Today's guest and the very first guest on the podcast is France's finest export, minus none, a genius in the kitchen, the man who can rock any hat, a lover of Los Angeles, a curious fellow with a knack of noticing the unnoticeable and making it beautiful. Someone who is very special to me, not only my first proper photographer friend, but one of my best, the one and only Pierre Galant.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks
Well,
for.
I feel the same about you, Ollie. You're so kind. You are really a bright star in my life. That 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 deserves to be said publicly. And ever since I met you, I feel like I've really definitely become a photographer. I don't know because I don't know if that's interesting to the audience, but we can talk about how we met, and it was a workshop, in-person workshop in Palm Springs, right? Do you remember?
Yeah,
And it's funny because I was feeling kind of awkward. Those in-person things, I always mess up something. I think I registered for it. Literally, I was in Las Vegas in the back of a cab. I was drunk and I saw it come across my phone and I signed up for it. That's what happened. And then the day of, I think I missed like kind of the details and all of that. I kind of arrived maybe late or something, but I did feel a little awkward the whole day. So I don't even know how we got to talk to each other because I was feeling shy definitely that day.
that's interesting, man. I'm not sure how I signed up for it, but I was definitely in need of something like that. I wasn't at the level I wanted to be. I was only just started. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was really beneficial, and it was a workshop with Mike Kelly, Scott Hargis, and Wayne Capelli in Palm Springs, like you said, a kind of mid-century modern spot. And I was a bit nervous to be there, and I locked you, and I was like, that dude's cool. I'm gonna go hang out with him.
I remember there was you and another guy from San Diego, and I don't know if it's him or you asked, how much would you charge for a house like this? And I think like whatever the number was, you guys thought that was high. So um, I remember
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
I
I
was like,
mean, at
oh,
the time, I
okay.
was charging nothing, so anything with
Yeah.
another zero on it would have blown my brain. Like it would have been crazy. Uh,
Yeah.
but that workshop is where we first met and bonded, and it was super helpful to have you at the workshop itself. And then also that's where we sort of got together as a photography couple, and then from there we've created a big created a good network and a group of guys that hang out all the time and help each other out. So it's been so good.
Yeah, so I think that that's one thing that people should know about is our summit, um, which is you had purchased a cabin in Big Bear, and you decided, hey, let's have a photography get together with other photographers. So there was you, there was Taylor, Abil, that's his last name, and me, and we went there. We shot, spent a weekend or a weekday, I can't remember, and talk shop for like what 3 days, maybe two or 3 days, and that was really helpful. I feel like whenever the first time we did this, and then we've done it several times since, I always come out of those hangouts energized again.
Yeah, energized, and there's just a huge amount of benefit to it all. Like even just the reassurance that you're doing things, the right way, or learning new stuff as well. Like a lot of the times we're just hanging out by ourselves, working away, and you're thinking, "Shit, am I doing this like remotely the right way?" And to hang out with guys like you guys and say, "Okay, yep, that I'm doing that too. That makes sense." Is cool. And on the flip side, it's like, oh, we watched each other edit and shoot, and for the most part, the shooting was pretty much the same. And then editing, there was like little things here and there that, all add up, those little tiny percentages. And that was huge. And then, like, just, the way you market yourself and prices and all that sort of stuff was just massive. I think the first workshop we did together, if you can call it that, it was more of just a meetup, was like
We called it
the
the
thing,
summit
the
because
summit, the summit.
we were up on a mountain.
Yeah, yeah, and there was just a huge amount of learning, and then everyone since then has kind of been smaller, but it's not just about learning more; it's about the camaraderie and stuff too, eh?
I mean, that's huge. Anytime one of us has a bad day, we can text the others on the group text, and that's I hate group text, but I love this one because that one's really helpful. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've ever been held hostage in a group text. That's like one of the worst things that can happen to you. But that one really helpful. I mean, the second I have a question, it's gonna be answered that day. If not that in the next 15 minutes. And that's man, talk about how do they call that mastermind? The mastermind group. It's like yeah, you got three people that do the same job as you on that group text, responding to you in real time. That makes you like so much better.
yeah, and there's a huge benefit to that real time, as you were saying. Like you can be at a shoot and be like, "This is happening. What do I do?" And you get something
Yeah,
back straight away because we're all pretty responsive on that, and there's just so much value in that, eh? Like if someone's busy doing a shoot or not near their phone, that's fine because someone else is going to pick up and chip in.
yeah, it's really good. And having somebody like Taylor Beal on that, he knows everything about photography. He knows absolutely everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, he's professionally trained, unlike us. He's a Brooks Institute guy, and we're
right,
just
exactly.
guys who had a camera and figured it out.
But he could be looking down on somebody, on people like us, and he's in the spirit of helping us, and that's huge.
Yeah, totally. And on that note, like Taylor and I are in the same city, and we're like essentially direct competitors, but we're more amigos and comrades than anything else, and it's been huge to help each other grow, and just in terms of referrals as well. Or, I've had
Mm.
to borrow a tripod from him on a day, or a light stand here, or whatever. We can just shoot off to each other's houses and grab something gear wise, and we share clients, and we share rates. We're super open about all that. For a start, I was a little bit apprehensive on that, but I think the more you open up, the more open book you are, the better it is.
That's true. I mean, for me, that's definitely not my natural bent. I come from a village in France. We're really protective of, almost like, kind of guarded against competition and all of that. So for me, that's not something that I do naturally. I'm kind of competitive and all of that. And but ever since we started that and having that practice of being opened up, of being open, it really has a lot more pluses than minuses. I mean, it's thinking in terms of abundance instead of scarcity, and it's, I don't know. I can't even describe how many benefits I've had from opening up to other photographers like you guys and other people that I have locally here as well. Um, it's nice to have that conversation, because also, real estate agents, they do talk, and it's almost an unfair advantage to have like one side, you know talking about all the photographers and not seeing the other way around. Like, okay, well, just me here. No, it's not just you in the corner. You're part of a community, and we all have, similar interests. And our interest is to be talking to each other.
For sure. That's well put. I like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
We could probably have, you know, many podcasts on how beneficial having a group is. And we're up to 5 now. We started at 2, now we're up to 5.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's
So
true.
yeah, the last one we had in San Diego, we had 5 in total. And 3 of them are San Diego based, 2 LA based. It's kind of cool looking at the mix of it too, because there's I'm from New Zealand, you're from France, Francisco's from Mexico, and I guess Taylor's the only one from San Diego, and then Lucas is originally from Peru. So it's a pretty cool mix of people.
It's true. And the backgrounds are all different. Like something that I did. Okay, so I shot that architectural house last year called the Glass and Steel House by A. Quincy Jones. So I shot that house, and then it didn't sell. And a few months later, maybe 6 months later, the real estate agent asked me to shoot it again. But I mean, I feel like when I shoot something, I give it my all, and I don't really have like new ideas. So what I did is I kind of enlisted Francisco. I said, "Hey, I need your help," and I sold him to my agent very easily because Francisco is an architect. I'm like, he's a trained architect. Let's do a reshoot with him, and there you go. And we did it, and now it's sold. Now the house is sold. So,
Wow.
um, so yeah, I didn't lose. I got to build a client another time. I subcontracted Francisco, and instead of referring out, I'm keeping it still in house, but with a fresh idea and bringing in a new photographer.
That's super cool. I
Yeah,
had Francisco at a shoot to assist me, and he's well beyond assisting, but we just sort of first
yeah.
met, and he helped me shoot a place right on Moonlight Beach in Encinitas, in San Diego, and it was super cool. He took some behind the scenes shots that were real architectural with me in them, so that was really cool. And then during the shoot, he was explaining certain architectural philosophies or whatever you want to call it in terms of
The same
um,
experience, just the vocab, just the terms, just
yeah,
learning. You know, he's like, okay, every house do you know is like separated between the social part of the house and then the private. I was like, I had that sense, but I never really put it into words. It's like, yeah, that's an architectural thing. I was like, oh, okay. So now every time I'm shooting, I kind of like reuse the vocab that he's taught me basically, and that elevates my game even more.
yeah, that's really cool. I like he was helping me with like learning modules and ratios of how like everything's split into thirds and
Wow.
all that sort of stuff. So it was really cool. Um, a lot of it was just like over the top of my head, but
Yeah.
like on that note, just being with like the workshops and mentorships and stuff that we've done, I've sort of been curious if I think sorry, my there's like a train in the
Sorry.
background. Um, you, mate. So I was talking about Francisco's knowledge and stuff, and I always kind of thought that I needed to know more about architecture and like know the lingo and everything like that. But after doing a few workshops and the mentorships that we've done and talking to a few more people, it's not super necessary to learn all the or to know all the terms and whatnot. Like, sure, you can, and that's great, and I'm sure it's good for your photography. But it's more about being curious and being present and
Mm.
capturing stuff, and sometimes that lack of architectural knowledge can fall in your favor because you can see stuff that architects or people who are trained in that field can't see or have a new perspective on it. So that was kind of interesting to me, that kind of perspective.
Well, they call it beginner's mind, and that's very precious in a way to approach something with a completely profane eye. As long as you are sensitive, and I guess that's where we come in. Is how do we respond as artists to the architecture?
Yeah, that's well put. Um, Mate, it's kind of on that note, but for context, one of the what must have, for context, like maybe 5 years ago, so we had a meetup in Pasadena, close to where you live. Obviously, you're
All
Altadena,
right.
in the Huntington Gardens, and we had a chat. I recorded it and did nothing with the video, but it's really cool, and I look back on it every now and then. But it was all about the mindset of thinking you're an artist as opposed to a vendor. And to me now, it's like it's ingrained in me. Um, but it was a huge kind of like turning point or aha moment. I don't like that saying, but something like that that really helped me, and it could definitely help other people who are going down that line of photography as well. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, I came up with that idea. I think it's after attending a few workshops in Las Vegas at that photographer conference, photographer for real estate conference, and having lunch with people and not necessarily being very inspired by some of the attendees there, being disappointed by some of the interactions that I had. People seeing, well, I mean, there are several levels. There are people in this business that just see this as a job, and I think it's too bad. And there's also the level of oh, we're just shooting real estate right now, but what we really want is to shoot architecture and interior design and all that stuff. So I feel like because the way the real estate industry sees photographers, they see us as just another vendor, somebody who's just going to solve a problem for them. Is like, okay, my problem is get pictures so I can get this thing listed, but not really seeing us as artists, as if like, okay, we are bringing an interpretation to what we are shooting, and that is going to enhance your brand in the long run. Um, so there's a lot of that short-term vision with the real estate agents. It's more like how can I immediately get this thing listed, and for us to bring in more of that perspective. Okay, why are you investing in photography? Think about your brand, think about your legacy, think about how the neighbors are going to see the marketing and all of that. Um, but yeah, so I think I came up with that idea. Like, okay, on the one hand, you've got the vendor, low paid, replaceable, follow orders, more like an employee, more or less, kind of like, okay, how cheap can I pay you so I can have pictures to put on the MLS? Versus on the other end, the artist is more somebody who's bringing a point of view, who's sought after for that point of view, and it is highly paid because they're not easily replaceable, and certainly not replaceable by robots, which is where a lot of the industry wants to go. Oh, can I just send a robot to scan the inside of a house, like a Matterport or 3D tour and all of that? That's robot type documenting of a space versus interpreting like an artist would do and pull out what's cool in space. How would you live there? If this was your dream, like it's the American dream, um, how do you make other people dream about the space? And that's not something that a robot can do. Therefore, it's
Yeah,
valuable. Yeah.
yeah. So, oh, it's getting windy. Um, so yeah, that was a big mindset shift for me, and it's fueled a lot of the way I've done things. Um, and one of the simple ways you put it to me that day was like, "Hey, look, it's vendor versus artist. They can either get an artist in to capture the space beautifully, blah blah blah, or they can get a vendor, which is pretty much a plumber, and they're at an hourly rate, and they're just getting the job done in and out." So that was a cool analogy for me to try and do that, and then you told me to like adapt the mindset of being an artist, whether it's through how you talk on the phone, how you quote, how
Yeah.
you shoot, how you show up, how you dress, everything like that. And I think it was huge for me, yeah. And I was able to become more of myself as well. That transformation took a long time, and it's still going, but a lot of it was about being myself too, which
Yeah, because you are an
is
artist. That's why.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
this phrase, "I am an artist," I think in our culture, society, it is, artists are often discouraged, and I feel like that's a huge thing. Is there's the myth of the starving artist, um, and so it takes a lot of courage to acknowledge to yourself that you are an artist. But then your thought right after is like, am I gonna be starving? I don't know.
Yeah,
So it takes a lot of courage to claim it. I'm gonna show you a drawing that I did. I came prepared.
sweet.
So
I'll,
this is,
I'll
can they see it? Oh shoot,
I've
it's
got
not.
such a fuzzy screen right now that I can't see it, but maybe we'll
I
put
put
it
it
up.
right next to my face, maybe. So it says, Pierre Galant on top of an island, and there's a flag saying Pierre Galant, and it says claiming Artist Island since 2017. So that's that's when I did that drawing. So I'm claiming being an artist, and the week I did that drawing, it was on a weekend. The week after, I was called an artist 3 times by clients, which is
Wow.
incredible. It's like, oh, talk about manifesting, talk about a
Yeah,
sign, you know,
that's cool. That's really cool.
and and so once you do that, you become a professional. You are a professional. You're sought after. What the way you behave? Think about how would a vendor show up? Oh, a vendor would probably have a uniform. Don't buy a
Yeah,
uniform.
they have a polo with a logo
A
and
polo with a
embroidered on it.
cheesy logo in the shape of a house and you know, an aperture, star around it.
With a house or a
Oh,
camera or something on it. Yeah, yeah. I've been guilty of
yeah,
that one too.
yeah, and I'm sure. But anybody who's listening to us, just drop that immediately. If you think about like, okay, am I am I a basic worker or am I more like a lawyer or doctor? More of that professional. Doctor wear uniform, yeah, a little bit. They wear a blouse, I guess, one of those coat labs sometimes. But do they try to sell you on something? No. You have to make an appointment. They're really good at marketing. Doctors make a lot of money because they make you jump through hoops, basically, more or
Yeah,
less.
yeah,
So I always
yeah,
think about that. Like, okay, if you're not a vendor, are you more on the other side? Like, how would the doctor handle a situation?
yeah. There, there. I've sort of come to terms with how there's two different types of real estate photographer in general. Like, there's the artist, there's who's the creative. They're constantly working on their craft, and they're doing it for their craft and constantly improving and searching out new ways to get better. And is the train again? Sorry. And then there's the entrepreneurial bro who just really just is all about volume, and it's hard for me to talk about them without sounding snarky because I'm on the other side, but that's just the reality of it. And they're just about volume and pumping out houses in 30 minutes, and they're just obsessed, and they've got the uniform and blah blah blah. But there's two
Okay,
different types,
but
and yeah, you go.
no, because I'm responding to you saying no, I'm trying not to sound snarky, and I don't think there is a hierarchy really in terms of a right or wrong way, or one is
Yeah,
classier than the other.
yeah,
Um, there are just two ways of of conducting your business to make money. There's one that some people find fun, because I've talked to some photographers who tell me I hate being in the field. I come back from shooting a house, I'm exhausted. What I like is managing people. So that's where they are artists. It's managing people. I like
yeah,
I like staying home, dispatching my team, and that's what I like to do. If you like to do
yeah.
that, then yeah, that's your calling.
I
But
couldn't
I think
think of
for
anything
you and
worse,
for
but
me, it's
good for
more
them.
about doing it. Okay.
Well, yeah, I could do a whole hour on talking about the different types of photographers and stuff. And one of the big things I want to start this podcast about is kind of showing people, um, that there's a lot of uh, pros to it. I'm struggling to talk here. I think we might be getting to the end of the podcast. But let me try again. One of the main points of the podcast is that I wanted to tell people and show people that real estate photography isn't bottom of the barrel of architectural photography. There's a lot of value in it, and it's got a lot of pros to it as well in terms of so many benefits of it. But there is a way to do it that isn't just run and gun shooting, and there is a way to have a really solid career and artistry in it as well.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's true. And I was gonna say, on the other hand, like this year, I have been so busy. My business almost tripled. So it's been so much that at some point I had to hold back the artist who nerd out on one photo and oh my god, it looks so great. Um, just to get the volume through. And I thought like this year I kind of treated it a little bit more like a machine, basically, like not spend as much time on nerd out on photos. That it really doesn't matter, because sometimes it used to be like when I first started, oh yeah, every shot's got to be like portfolio quality, blah blah blah. But I'm like, no, that's a photo of like the door of a toilet. What am I doing? Why am I spending 15 minutes trying to make this shot perfect? So I can see also, and also from the feedback I've had from a lot of clients, is like there is you still have to document the space. It can't just be artsy. So it's a balance, really. You gotta it's once you start getting busy, it really is. You have to balance. You have to prioritize. What is calling my attention right now or not. Can I just go quickly through that process? But yeah, I think overall the philosophy still is, this is important. It's a huge transaction for people, and I want to make them dream about it. And the real estate agents, they are valuable. They provide such a good service in the world, because people think that houses sell themselves. Now that the market is changing, they can see it's not. They don't just sell themselves. You need somebody there to tell you you're overpriced. You need the voice of reason of a third party who is not completely involved in that. So yeah, I think. Plus, I think, you know what? Like, in terms of even money and all of that, a lot of architects are broke. They don't have any money. Real, real estate agents, a lot of them are broke, but the ones who are successful, they keep hiring you, and they'll pay you, and they'll have the money to command higher rates also. So I don't see why there would be a hierarchy in terms of what clients you serve. I don't see the difference. I've shot for architects things that were so mundane and boring. I wanted to like blow my brains out, and I've shot for real estate agents like amazing properties that I only in my dreams I could have thought, if just being in them, let alone photographing them. So I think it's hard to like really have a preconceived idea of the industry before you start, before you give it a chance, really. So I think, yeah, real estate photography is cool. If you do it, you're going to be inspired. You're going to be in really great spaces. If you call yourself an artist, your people are going to come to you for your art, and you'll start shooting really cool stuff. Even if you're in an area that you think doesn't have cool houses. I've been in America long enough to know there's cool houses everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
I guess this podcast is worldwide, but all over the world also, I'm sure it's the same. In
Yeah,
France, there's really cool chateaus, there's really cool apartments. There's a lot of cool stuff to photograph. You just don't know it yet. I'm always amazed that every single week that I shoot, I fall in love with a house.
yeah, that's cool.
Every week, I'm like, it's crazy.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah,
Mate, we might have to stop it there. Your
yeah.
device is telling me it's stopped recording. It's run out of space. It's run out of space or something. Um, yeah, yeah, exactly. But um, let's call it there as the first one, the pilot, the test run. Ollie Paterson, Pierre Galant. I can't say it like you can, but appreciate you
Pierre
coming
Galant.
on, and Pierre Galant. And you'll definitely be the reoccurring guest.
All right, sounds good to me.
Cheers, mate.